Hi, my name is Christina Combias. I really want to be in the marketing field after I graduate. Um, Today I'm going to interview my sister Alex Combias. She's 23 and she's a marketing coordinator at Saks. She's my older sister, and I know that by interviewing her, she's going to provide very straightforward answers and be very honest with me, which is going to help. She's worked in the marketing department for about 2 years now, and she's loved it. This is going to be great to interview her because she has the professional experience to answer my questions fully. I also used the Yahoo Marketing Internship role description for my project introductory profile. It was basically a summer internship program where the interns would be working with the marketing department. A lot of the roles I thought I could qualify for. I'm very organized. I'm very good at communication and getting my message across. I'm very passionate with what I do, and I'm a multitasker. I can do a lot of things at once, and I think that's really important in the marketing field because, as my sister's going to explain in a little bit, you are constantly working on different presentations and PowerPoints and advertisements, and you have to make sure that you can handle it all. And now I'm going to interview Alex Combias. Thank you. I'm going to ask her why she was interested in marketing and what brought about this, how'd she land the job, because I think that's really important because I want to know what I need to do in order to land my specific marketing job that hopefully I will get after I graduate. I'm going to ask her if anyone contributed to her success in the position, if she had a mentor, and if there's ever a time that she failed at her job, because you really have to overcome obstacles a lot of the time. And I want to know if she has any advice for me in how to land my dream job. Today I'm just going to ask you a few questions. What's your name?
Alex.
How old are you?
22.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm the marketing manager at Saks office.
Okay, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. The first question I have for you is, how did you ultimately land this job?
I got this job. First, I decided because I had an interest in business and in fashion, I wanted to be in retail. So I started looking at Saks, Barney's, and Neiman's. Because of how the economy is currently doing, a lot of the outlets are doing a lot better than the full-line stores. So I looked at Saks office, and they had a position that I was interested in, and yeah.
Okay, was this your first choice, or did you just...
I initially wanted to work in the alcohol industry and marketing, but I found after a bunch of interviews I needed to have a higher level education, like business school, so I decided to look at something that was more broad, where I could get the fundamental kind of experience I needed to go back into alcohol.
Okay. Right now I'm taking a few marketing classes because I think this will help me. I think this will help me land my dream job. Do you think that all your classes you took in high school and college were valuable in landing this dream job of yours?
No, not at all. I think that I took a couple in college because my major was so specific. I was in design and management at Parsons, which is all about project managing. But ideally, it's really about, I don't really think there's a class that can prepare you for it. I think there's a class that can teach you things that you need to know. For example, like marketing and finance classes to understand Excel and understand like marketing budgets. But it's very fast paced. You have to be very creative. It's things you can't learn.
Going off of that, what do you think is some of the most important skills you need in order to be successful at your job?
You need to be really quick. That's my biggest thing. You need to be able to think on your feet. I think if you want to, ideally get a good job experience is a lot more powerful than all these classes. I think you need to get out there in the field you want to be in and work and intern and do whatever you can because you need hands-on experience.
Okay. And did you have a mentor during this process? Can you tell me a little bit about that, or were you really on your own?
I interned from a really young age, so I had a lot of mentors, I would say, because I had a lot of really great bosses. I wouldn't say I had one in particular, um, but I've always been lucky enough to have bosses who have really taught me, have been really, really good teachers. And if you have a boss that's a good teacher, that makes a huge difference because it's them who you learn from.
Yeah, of course. I currently haven't had any positions in marketing or have had any internships in the past. Do you think that's going to affect me in the long run?
Um, it depends the experience you have had. I think that it obviously wouldn't have hurt if you did have experience, but I think it's a lot of stuff that you can learn as you go, so long as you're willing to put in the hard work, then
Okay.
I don't see a problem.
Another question I have for you is, was there a time that you failed at your job that contributed to future learning or success?
I will have to say, because it's retail, the holiday season is the busiest time for us. And this year, because we had switched out our creative campaign so many times, we missed a couple deadlines to get the signage for the holiday campaign into the stores. And we have, over 150 stores across the country.
Was that a big setback?
Yes and no. I mean, our signage spoke about our holiday deals we were having, and we were initially going to start that the first week of November, but we had to push it out a couple days because the stores had to have time to put up the signage. So, I mean, it wasn't that big of a setback, but it was something we learned from.
Okay. And the last question I have for you today is, what advice do you have for someone like me trying to land my dream job that is similar to yours?
Experience. Do whatever you can to get out there. Take whatever internships you can get. I think that experience is a lot more powerful than sitting in a classroom.
Okay. All right. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
You're welcome.
Just recently, I interviewed my sister, Alex Combias, who's 23, and she's a marketing coordinator for Saks. I asked her a few questions regarding her job, how she landed it, if some of her classes she took in college influenced this, and if she had a mentor. I also asked her if there's any advice she could give me on how to land the job, and if there's ever a time she failed in order to contribute to her success. She was very helpful, and she was very honest with me, which I appreciated. She explained that you need to be really organized and you need to move at a fast pace. There's constantly many projects and marketing plans that are going on at once, especially during the holidays. I thought this piece of advice is very interesting to me because the number one piece of advice that she gave me is that you always have to be on task and know what you're doing. She also said that you always have to be asking questions because if you face an obstacle, you need to make sure you overcome it. Another thing I thought that was interesting is that she said she didn't really have a mentor during the process. That was interesting to me because honestly, as I know her very well, she's a person who does a lot of things for herself. She's always on her own in life and with her work, and that's just always how she's been. So I thought that was interesting that she didn't really have a mentor along the way to help her, because personally I would need one, I think. She made me really happy when she told me that it was okay that I didn't really have any marketing experience in the past. She said as long as you're willing to work hard and you're willing to pay attention and take the time, then you're going to be okay. I thought that was great. She also talked about how she landed this job because she had a great resume in the past and she had a ton of internships, and she's very dedicated and motivated. She said that she was looking and she landed this job because Saks was hiring and she met the qualifications. Overall, I thought this interview went really well because it gave me time and it made me open up more to my sister and what she does. And it was cool because at first I didn't really know everything that she did on a daily basis. And it was cool to see how she is constantly working hard every day to make money and to achieve what she needs to achieve in work in order for the company to be successful. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and thank you, Alex Combias, for letting me interview you.